welcome back, everybody, to the Hooligans podcast. I'm joined today by the regular crew of me, Jason, Jose, Logan, Jared, Steven, Tyler, and Nick. And today we're just gonna... Well, I want to start out actually by doing a quick movie recommendation, if that's okay with everyone. Anybody have any objections to that?
You know, we're all gonna jokingly say that we're gonna object, right? That's just how that question works usually.
Well, I have a movie that I want to talk
movies.
about too.
Yeah.
I hate media.
I have something that I want to talk about too, so I'm down.
Yeah, let's go for
Alright,
it.
get to it.
So, I told Jose about this, but I don't know. Have any of you guys ever heard of a movie called Old Boy?
I've heard
I
it.
have
Yes.
heard of it, yeah.
Not there's one made by Spike Lee in like 2013. Not that one. The original one, which is a Korean film, in like 2003, I think. And I was watching a Your Movie Sucks video and he was like comparing the two Old Boys and how the old one is way better than the new one. And I was like, oh,
The
that looks
older
really
boy,
good.
if you will.
Yeah. And so I decided to watch it. And it's completely free online, I think on like legitimate services, because I just Googled Old Boy 2003, and there were like a bunch of sites that were like actual places that are just like, you want to watch this with ads? And I was like, okay. Man, it was really good. It's like without saying anything about the movie, it's kind of like a suspense, mystery, thriller kind of movie. There's some good action. It's pretty violent. It's graphic and stuff, but it was a very entertaining time and I enjoyed it. So I highly recommend everybody watches it.
You're
It's
like
subbed.
all about... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Nick.
It's subbed, right? It is in Korean.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
subbed. Don't watch the dub. I have heard that it's bad.
Oh.
And the
Really?
acting is like really good.
Nice.
Didn't you tell me about some other Korean... It was like a zombie movie, right?
Yeah, Train to Busan,
Yeah.
which was...
I've
You're
heard
all
of that.
about Korean movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Both of these have just been recommended to me by people, and they were
Support.
both good.
Support foreign films.
Didn't
Yeah,
the
I'd
new
say
Old Boy have Josh Brolin?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotta love
Thanos?
that whitewash.
Gotta love it. When Jose said support foreign films, that reminds me of Iñárritu's no wait, it was Alfonso Cuarón, sorry. Acceptance speech when he won best foreign film. He's like, some of my
Yeah.
favorite foreign films growing up were Jaws. And he just, like, went off listing these Hollywood movies and I was like, that's
Yeah.
really good.
Honestly, he's great. I love Alfonso Cuarón.
Love him.
All right, what about you, Nick?
Well, I think I thought of another thing real quick. This one's just short, but yesterday, on a whim, I decided to finally watch John Wick and John Wick Chapter 2.
Oh,
Nice.
Without
I've
me?
been meaning to.
And
Yeah,
wow,
where
those are
was the
good.
invite?
Those are legit movies. Like,
Yeah.
there's not, like, what's crazy about those movies is that the story is extremely basic. It's like classic revenge tale.
hmm
But like the way they do it is just in a way that it makes you... I think that some revenge movies you kind of almost don't care about what happened to them, you just care that they get the revenge. And in this one, in just a short amount of time, they do a good job of giving you a reason to care about John and hope that he gets revenge. And there was like, I didn't realize how many like stars were in this. And this isn't, I mean, I think most people know the plot of the movie. I'm not going to say the plot, but I will say that the guy that plays Theon Greyjoy is in the first movie.
Oh, really?
And it's just
Oh, I
really
didn't know
funny to see him again, especially in this role,
Okay.
because he's like a tough guy, but he's not like a tough guy. He's like an entitled mobster's son.
Okay.
He's the entitled one,
Sounds
not the mobster.
familiar.
Yeah, so it's like, okay. But those are really good movies. Definitely check them out. I really want to see Parabellum now. I almost went this morning, but I said forget it. But the other thing that I did go see this week was X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Ooh.
Okay.
I didn't even know
Okay.
that came out already.
Yeah,
We talked
it came
about
out
it
last week. Yeah.
Did
It was coming out that night.
Yeah.
So, or
Nah, I
yeah,
don't
it came
watch
out the night
X-Men
before.
stuff.
So let me say, I don't agree with the critics.
Oh.
which I don't usually agree with critics anyways.
Hot
But
take.
I really liked it. I thought it was what I expected of. Obviously in X-Men 3 they did the Dark Phoenix. Well, let me correct that. They tried to do the Dark Phoenix storyline. It didn't work very well. They did a lot of stupid things. And this one they did similar things, and what was cool I thought was they even did some homages to that first one, but in good ways. But I think that this one was just more solid. I definitely think it's better than Apocalypse.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I mean the villain in this one is very like, like this one is very comic booky, I'll say, because you kind of just have to. Which I mean, in the last X-Men movie, a blue dude decided to destroy the world, and it almost did. So they're already kind of out of the box with X-Men movies, but this one is even more so. But I thought it was good. Sophie Turner, I like more as Jean Grey, and there's some interesting, like, what's weird is this one isn't as actiony as the previous ones. There is a lot. There's definitely good action. It's not like it's boring in that regard, but there's definitely just a more interesting conflict, and it's more so conflict between characters, which is similar to the comics in that they have to fight Jean because she goes crazy. But in this one, they just do some interesting things. I don't want to give away too much, but I will say, besides like the Wolverine series of movies, this one has probably one of the best like mutant powered fight scenes in any of the X-Men movies ever made. It's there's you'll know when you see it. It's super good. It's kind of what you always want, to just see everyone go all out with their powers. And I think that given this is probably the last X-Men movie for a good while, I think it's a good enough ending to the series, because they kind of already concluded the first X-Men series in Days of Future Past. So
Yeah.
now both series have been wrapped up in a way that I think is good. So I encourage people to go see it. Don't expect the greatest superhero movie ever made. It's just I think it's a solid X-Men movie.
Yeah. Not
No.
everything can be Logan.
Yeah.
True.
Oh.
Honestly, it's like funny you mention it because I saw earlier today that writer director, was it Simon Kinberg,
Yes.
kind of just like took, I don't know, I guess owned up to how Dark Phoenix wasn't successful. He kind of went on record and said it's like a movie that didn't really connect with audiences, and he said that's on me. So I think, I mean, I'm not saying that like it's bad. I haven't seen it or anything like that, but like I just want to point out that's like a really big deal. I feel
Yeah.
like when movies flop, there's a lot of people blaming a whole lot of things. So for him to kind of own up that like, oh, maybe it wasn't like the best, or maybe it has its faults and that's my fault, is a pretty big like thing to admit. So I give him mad props for that.
Yeah.
Just that's like it's like a really bold move, and I feel like a lot of directors need to know when they do something wrong and learn from their mistakes as opposed to trying to blame it on others.
Yeah, I was reading some stuff. It was kind of vague, but apparently they had to change up the ending in a big way. There was another choice which I can't really get into, but Captain Marvel and Infinity War, some choices in the stories there affected some of the story in Dark Phoenix,
Oh, yeah,
which is
I did
interesting.
see some of that.
Yeah, so I won't say what those are because that does give away things, but I think I definitely see how it was probably on him in some ways, but I also think just X-Men movies have never had the greatest reputation, especially following Logan, because it's very hard to follow that. And given that Endgame, I mean, just came out, and Spider-Man's still on the horizon, people are kind of in the MCU mode. And I definitely thought, this is a good story, but at this point, because of the MCU, everyone's kind of just asking the question, when are the X-Men going to be in the MCU? And so
Right.
it's kind of like, you want urgent in any superhero movies, you're always wanting to know, okay, what's next? Because you're assuming that they're going to keep going. And this one, it's
Yeah.
like, well, there's not really that urgency besides concluding the story, because we're probably not going to see this cast again, and it might be a while before we see these characters, so the stakes are kind of not that high. And one other final thing on it that I think is definitely in part of like, this falls on some of the creative team of why they decided to go this way, but in Apocalypse, like, Jean Grey does not really have a large part to play in that movie, and like, this is a story that you're supposed to have connected with Jean, and that was just something they never really accomplished that within any of the X-Men movies, of giving you a connection with Jean Grey, given just all that happens throughout the storyline. So I noticed that in both appearances of Jean Grey, just there's not enough in the stories to really connect you to have that payoff. But so it's almost unfortunate. I think it could have been a better movie, but I think it's also solid too. But that is cool that Kinberg at least stepped up to the plate, especially given this is his first outing as a director.
For sure.
So yeah, that's all.
Dope.
That's
Any other movies, TV shows?
Has anyone seen the new Black Mirror yet?
I've been meaning to watch it.
Not yet.
I did see it.
There's this one episode that I specifically want to talk about with you guys.
Is it
Maybe
1, 2, or 3?
It's the first one, the one with Anthony
God.
Mackie.
Okay.
It's
Did they use technology?
Yeah, it's honestly not the strongest season, and it's so short too, so that definitely doesn't help it. But I know they made Bandersnatch, which I actually haven't seen Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch is fantastic.
Yeah, I know. I've heard
It was
good things
very
about
good.
it.
Yes.
I actually like this season a lot, and I haven't watched every season, but for the most part, I don't really like the show that much, but episode 2 I thought was outstanding.
I liked episode 2 a lot. Actually,
Yeah.
I was about to say that was my favorite of the season.
And 3 has Miley Cyrus, which I thought that one was actually solid, but
Yeah.
there's definitely a different feel. I thought this. Don't take this as a reason not to watch it, because this shouldn't be a turnoff. It felt almost like a Disney Channel movie at one point, which was kind of funny.
Episode 3?
But
Yeah.
Damn it,
but
Miley.
it's still good.
Yeah,
And
no, it's
it was
good.
interesting. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, that one.
But 2
that one actually
was my favorite.
2 was definitely my favorite. The third episode also, it has music that was written by Trent Reznor as like
nice.
Oh, nice.
some of the songs.
That's very appropriate for.
And
Black
like
Mirror.
it kind of revolves around this like pop star character, and I guess I won't say much more. Oh man, I really want to talk about it. The one with Anthony Mackie, I thought it was really weird. I didn't particularly like it that much. I didn't think there was like a lot going for it, but I definitely want to talk to you guys at some point whenever y'all see it. It doesn't have to be on here. It could just be in general.
Yeah, we
All
never
I'll say
talk.
is don't if you read the description of the episode, don't let it get your hopes up.
Yeah.
All right, fair. I saw a movie recently.
What was it?
Gas.
It's a movie that yeah, can you believe it? A movie that was mentioned last week, Booksmart.
Oh, okay.
Let's
and
go,
I've been-
baby.
And this has been like since the trailer dropped, I've been wanting to see this, and I just haven't gotten around to it, but I finally did. And I'll keep it as briefly as I can, but really good movie. Just I can see the comparisons to Superbad and why that would be made, but I think this like definitely does its own thing too. The actresses are great. It's very believable that they are like lifelong friends or just best friends in general. And also just like the side characters are really, they shine. They're not like in the background. There's just like they really have their times where just like they get a good laugh out of you, and they're just really memorable. They really stick with you. Olivia Wilde does a really good job of directing it. I think she did like a great job, even like comedic wise. Like she has like good, like she does a really good way to just shoot comedy, which is like extremely hard to do for those of you who have tried and failed or have not tried at all. But yeah, it's so good. Even like the soundtrack was really good. I don't know who picked the songs for this movie, but they had like Anderson .Paak Lizzo like LCD sound system, and believe it or not, like Death Grips was on.
What?
In the movie
Grips?
too. Yeah. If it's like twice they like sampled the beginning of I've Seen Footage. And it's just a really good movie. It's a lot of fun. I'm not sure if it's still in theaters.
I think there's some showing still.
Yeah, but it's not a movie that you have to see in theaters. I don't think. I don't think it takes away from the experience, but it's a good movie, and I would recommend it to anyone.
Nice.
So I watched a movie not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was it's been out for a while. It's mid-90s.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, that's Jonah Hill's.
Yeah, Jonah Hill's.
Yeah.
It's very good, and I don't really know. Have any of you guys seen it?
No.
Yeah,
I really
not
wanted
yet.
to.
I've seen
It's
it.
You saw it? What did you think?
I thought it was good. It was like it's more of like felt like more of like a series of events than like a whole story, like
Yeah.
a beginning and end type thing. But yeah, I thought it just looked cool, and yeah, I don't know why. What'd you think about it?
I thought it was really good. I mainly just wanted to bring it up because I think it's really interesting that like Jonah Hill is sort of maybe attempting to sort of stray away from like the persona that he has like originally built up within the industry, like because I think he directed mid-90s and then was in Maniac. I'm not exactly sure the timing there, but
Yeah,
both of those are like
I believe Maniac came out after.
both of those are like way off from what he like is really known for, and I think it's really interesting. So if you guys haven't seen Maniac or mid-90s, you should definitely do that.
Did you like the kid in mid-90s?
In mid-90s?
His acting?
I thought he did a good job. Yeah.
Okay. He's he plays Atreus in God of War, the new one.
Oh,
And
really?
He was really good in that.
Yeah.
But that,
Okay.
of course, that's voice acting too, which can
Yeah.
be different. But he really did a good job in God of War, so it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see him.
he's a
live.
very good actor. Yeah.
Sick. I
Well.
saw Aladdin. It was okay.
Aladdin.
I also saw Aladdin a
Really?
while ago, but
Yeah.
out of curiosity more so than anything.
It was better than I thought it was gonna be, but I'm very much on the side of like they gotta, and I know why they're doing it. Everyone does. It's for money, but they gotta stop. These movies were
Yeah.
good. Like Aladdin was good.
No,
And, like,
yeah.
like-
I mean, I know that in one trailer I saw, which is in a trailer, so I'm gonna just say it, that Iago is like gigantic, the parrot.
Oh, that's like
Well-
a certain scene.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a
We've
little
all,
different.
We've all seen Aladdin, so I think I can spoil.
I don't think that happens in the original.
No, I mean it's just a part
No, it
where
doesn't.
it's like kind of the part. I think this happens in the
Towards
old
the
one.
end.
If it doesn't, then
I don't think it
whatever.
does.
But he like wishes. Jafar wishes that he's like the most powerful sorcerer or whatever in the world, and he turns him into that temporarily.
Okay.
That's not like a
So
permanent thing.
my point in saying that was to ask, is there any reason to see this if I've seen the first one? Like, is there anything different that makes it interesting, or is it basically the same movie?
There's one thing that they did that I liked, but I don't think I don't want to like get into it just because it's like I guess it's kind of like spoiler talk, but I don't think even then I don't think it justifies like paying to see this movie per se.
No.
There was never a time where I was like, wow, I prefer this over the original, because I much prefer the original.
Okay.
And that's just me though, and
So as
but I
someone that
also feel like
loves
a
the
lot of
original,
people-
let me ask
Yeah.
this final question.
Go for it.
Tell me the real reaction to Will Smith.
I'll
Will
let Tyler go
Smith?
first.
What
like my
about-
reaction?
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I mean, he's not. No one's Robin Williams.
Right.
Of
But-
course.
And it was definitely like a little bit of a different. He was still the same character. Like the genie was still like that kind of like goofy, like lighthearted guy. But it was definitely more of like a Will Smith's personality than Robin Williams, obviously. Yeah, I think they definitely just played it up to be like, all right, this is Will Smith now. This is not Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you like Will Smith, you'll you'll like him as the genie, I think.
Well,
I will say that there was like times where certain lines were recycled. And I don't know. I really wish they hadn't have done that. Like I know it's like, oh, I remember like in the old movie when they said this, that was
Very
that was a good
fan
line.
servicey.
Yeah, but I really wish they would not have done that and just come up with like original lines.
Did it feel forced?
I guess not. I mean, it's just like it's a I don't know.
It's hard to say like, oh, that's forced because it's like it wasn't forced in the original one, so it's hard to be like it was forced in this one because it's just the same movie.
Sense. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I just wish they would have, I don't know, written some original lines and like I don't know, maybe worked a little harder in this movie, but that's just me.
cool.
I wish they made a good movie.
I didn't say it was bad.
I haven't seen the movie. I have no idea.
You just said it was inferior.
It is definitely.
Like we all knew.
I have no trouble. I would definitely admit that it's definitely inferior. Go watch.
I'll go
the
ahead and
original
say
animated Aladdin.
I'm not expecting Lion King to be really
What?
anything remarkable. I mean, I'm expecting it.
But it has Beyonce.
It has Beyonce, but it doesn't have like the songs,
cares?
right? Aren't they taking out some of the music, or was that a different one? Yeah.
No, yeah.
So
that's
whatever.
weak. How dare they?
I have a little bit more faith in Jon Favreau though.
Yeah,
I guess. So.
and just the general cast of that one is like so stacked that
it is stacked.
Even if the script is bad, like the talent connected to that is just so strong that they're gonna make something out of it.
You say that, but you can give a really talented person a turd, and what can they really do with it except shine it?
What's a movie that you guys really thought was gonna be good, but it wasn't?
Oh.
I'm gonna probably have trouble thinking of this as well. But if there's any silence, I'll just.
I didn't think it was gonna be good, but it's definitely a movie that I had a little bit of faith in.
Don't you say it.
Say it. Say it.
No,
do it.
No,
say it.
I don't think. I don't know. I really thought Suicide Squad was gonna be.
I knew it.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say something else.
No, I knew he was gonna say Suicide Squad.
I don't know. Like.
Okay, I agree with that one.
I'm a fan of. Or at least I was. I don't know if I am anymore. Was a fan of David Ayer's work. Up until that point, I thought he held his own as a writer and a director. And if you haven't seen Fury, Fury's good. Training Day, if you've seen Training Day, Denzel got nominated for an Oscar for Training Day. So I had faith in him. And I didn't mind Will Smith being cast. Jared Leto's Joker, gave me some doubts, but I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because people doubted Heath Ledger as well when he got casted for The Dark Knight. So I was like, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. And I didn't think it was gonna be as bad as it was. And it was worse than I could have ever imagined.
Dude, and that was we went on your birthday to go see that.
Yes. No. I invited people to see this movie with me on the day of the 19th, 20th anniversary of my birth. And it was
the main day.
It was a time. I'm sorry for making
I feel like the initial fan reaction kind of killed that movie because I think if they had more Joker in it, I think it would have been at least somewhat more, some semblance of a better movie. But having some like generic Cara Delevingne villain was like, okay, who cares? Like, show me the Joker. He's on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that
the marketing for that movie was phenomenal.
It was.
Oh yeah,
and the trailer was good too. The trailers were good.
Yeah.
I liked what they showed before the movie was released.
Maybe the Suicide Squad will be better. I mean, it's got James Gunn.
Oh, jeez.
I have a little more faith in James Gunn too, to do something with the characters. Hopefully, I hope he does a good job of that. But that's just a movie that I thought was going to be better than, or at least decent. I thought it was going to be at least decent, and I was
decent. Sorry,
but I was disappointed.
Well,
I think
speaking of disappointment.
Oh no, you go.
Should we talk about E3 yet, or?
No.
Wait,
I gotta answer Tyler's question because I came up with one.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I guess there are so many movies that could probably put in this list, but two that really upset me were just the Amazing Spider-Man movies, just both of them.
Ooh.
I was The first one's
Especially
very.
the second one.
The first one's very. It's okay. It's not the worst thing ever. It's not like I don't really remember anything about it. I only remember stuff because I've seen so many reviews about it. But like the second one is just so awful, and I love Spider-Man, and it's bad. It's just not. It's just a bunch of shit. I really hate it.
The second one was like the. You know what? It came out years ago. I don't care. When Gwen Stacy like dies, that's the only good part of the movie. It was not because like she was a bad character or anything, but because like I actually was genuinely surprised and like taken aback. I like kind of like got it to the edge of my seat. I was like, whoa, did they really just do that? Because like I don't know, it's easy to like play it safe in those type of movies, but they didn't in that one specific situation. Yeah. And then like I think like 5 minutes later, Jamie Foxx's character came back, and I was like, oh man, I don't like this.
Oh fuck!
Wait, what?
What? No, because she died after he.
Oh yeah, that's right. Whatever.
Him.
What's
it's
funny?
Still bad.
That movie, just like I remember because for one, Shailene Woodley was supposed to be in that movie. She was supposed to be Mary Jane. Because I remember hearing about all the like story of it, and then the movie came out, and I was like, wait, where is all this stuff? And
where's the movie?
Yeah, because Gwen I don't think was supposed to die in that movie. It was supposed to be the third installment, but then I think I don't know. I think it's all speculation, but I'm sure Marvel had started to probably talk to Sony about can we get Spider-Man, but also just the first one and the second one just didn't do that well. But it was still supposed to launch into a Sinister Six movie, which then got canned. But yeah.
There's also
whatever happened to that Gambit movie that was supposed to have Channing Tatum?
Oh, I think it's actually technically still in development, but that just means that they're like open to it.
Yeah.
But are not doing anything. But another like to show how ridiculous The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was, when it came to DVD, there's a deleted scene where after Gwen dies, there's like a whole montage of Peter at her grave, and his dad appears.
Oh.
And it's not like a vision. His dad is actually alive and says how he's had to stay away. Which doesn't, I mean, they never even explained why they had to leave in the first place. That was like some big mystery that they just decided, let's not talk about. And then he just shows up, and it's like, okay, like, why are you here?
Why are you?
Dumb movie.
The one other thing that apparently was planned, or like a concept for the third Amazing Spider-Man movie, was that they were talking about doing some sort of dumb thing with like some self-regenerating ability that the spiders have, and they're gonna use it to like allow Peter to be able to regenerate the people in his life and like bring people back to life. And this was in like there's like a clip that's like a little interview with I think the director, whatever his name is,
Mark Webb.
Yeah, there we go. Or maybe it was somebody else working on the movie, and they were talking about that. And that I'm so glad they didn't make a third one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was more excited about the Sinister Six movie than, but even then, that probably would have been bad.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Yeah. So. Anyway, earlier somebody said something about E3. Anybody got something to say about that?
Hell yeah, I do.
Or like Re3.
Well, I think that at the very least, some of the conferences were okay. I liked when they showed Halo. Yeah, no, there were good things that showed up. I think Microsoft conference was like all right. Bethesda's was.
I thought Ubisoft had the best. I mean, I know that a lot of people say Nintendo. I think a lot of online people say Nintendo had the best one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I think Ubisoft honestly had the best one because it felt like a conference from 5 years ago when E3 still felt exciting. Yeah, and just like pretty much any game in Ubisoft's conference, I'm like at least interested to play, and because there was Watch Dogs, there was Ghost Recon, there was that one they showed at the end. It was like Gods and Monsters or something, which it was like a cinematic trailer, but you could tell like, okay, this is a Zelda or a Breath of the Wild with Greek mythology, hopefully, which sounds good. And then the new Rainbow Six. Like most everything at least was interesting. And the Watch Dogs demo was like interesting to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the other ones were just like prime example, Microsoft conference, the Gears of War segment. Oh my god. How long do you have to talk about Gears of War 5 but not show any gameplay?
Yeah.
They showed zero gameplay, which they showed it last year, but that game comes out in September.
So like they should have had something tangible for people to latch onto and get excited about. It's not a very good sign.
Which I mean, it's on the show floor, that's kind of thing, but I mean something, at least show gameplay in your trailers.
I mean, yeah, even Just Dance had people come out and
Just Dance was more interesting than Gears of War.
Whoa, that's a hot take.
No, I'm not.
Bro,
I'm not saying that.
Just Dance is coming out for the Wii, but not for the Wii U.
That's really funny.
The Just Dance that is coming out in 2019 is coming out for the Wii, but not the Wii U. That just shows you how much the Wii U just flopped.
Yeah,
We came out like what, 10 years ago, maybe more.
Oh,
Wii is an old
over
lad.
that.
Yeah.
Now,
2005.
I don't know why they're doing
No
that. Right?
way.
Oh, I'm pretty
Maybe
sure.
I'm thinking of when I got mine.
I'm pretty sure 05.
Oh, because it came out around the same time that like the 360 and the PS3 were like they were all together.
That's insane.
2006.
Yeah.
06 was the Wii launch.
Well,
I mean,
was
that
it?
makes sense though, because I mean, for one, they've released Just Dance on the Wii every
Yeah.
year, so that's not new or anything.
and a lot
but-
of people have it.
Yeah, and most people like they know. Okay, you have a regular Wiimote. If you have a Wii, some people might have a Wii U but don't have Wii remotes, which is
Yeah.
weird. But
Yeah, that's true. Were you
I
gonna
want a
say
Wii
something,
U.
Steven?
What's up?
I thought you were gonna say something. I thought I heard
Yeah.
someone say.
Oh, just like the reason why it. I read a theory as to why it only came out for the Wii and not the Wii U. That like a lot of what was it? A lot of is it that like hospitals, like rehabilitation centers, like they bought Wii's specifically for Just Dance, so people can do like physical therapy with it or something like that.
Oh.
And so that's why, so that they all invested in the Wii, and so
Yeah.
they got to put out this game for the Wii.
I mean,
that's really
also
wholesome.
it just boils
Yeah, it
down
is.
to the
Kinda
Wii
like
had
Nintendo.
more install base and had far more units
Yeah,
sold. So
that's it.
why
Oh,
would
yeah,
they put it on the
that's so
console
true.
that didn't sell as well? And there's just not that many of them. You can't
Yeah.
even get a Wii U less than like $800 now.
Are you
Like the
serious?
price has gone. Oh yeah, you go
Oh
on
my
Amazon
God.
and look for Wii U. It's like $800 because
That's
they're just not
ridiculous.
around. But Wii's are like most.
Get a Wii
almost-
for like $50.
Well, that and just most everyone kind of has one lying around.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
because they've got like sports or the Wii Fit. Like it's just there, so it's smarter to go that way.
Is
Right.
Nintendo even like producing anything other than the Switch right now? Like, do
Oh.
they even still have like Wii U's or
Oh,
Wii's in
no.
production?
No,
They
that's
don't-
why the
they don't
price
make
is
one.
going up. They've
Okay.
Yeah.
ceased production. I mean, they have the like 3DS and 2DS line that they're still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
sure they're
'cause they
still
haven't made
manufacturing,
another-
but they're probably going to roll that back in a
Right.
couple of years here.
I think since you said Nintendo, there's something about the format of Nintendo's that like I liked and disliked at the same time. Because it was kind of nice to just get to sit there and just get game trailer after game trailer after game trailer and not have to sit through all the dumb bullshit that people do in between where they have people dance on stage. But I don't know. Part of E3 is like the weird cringy stuff that happens that nobody's really expecting. And it's kind of... It was good though. They showed good games, and the very end of it, where they did that thing where they actually did a direct follow up to a Zelda game. You know, that thing that never happens.
Dude.
Like once.
Yeah, that happened
Yeah.
once.
I mean,
Well,
I think
Unless you
they're.
count the DS, like the Spirit
Well, like
Tracks.
Spirit
and stuff,
Tracks.
those are
and
like kind
Well,
of.
Spirit Tracks is-
Hourglass?
Well, but those aren't Phantom or Spirit. This gets into the Zelda timeline, which is always a
Oh,
mess.
okay.
But Spirit
Yeah, that's
Tracks is not like a sequel. Like
Oh.
that's a different Link, actually.
No.
Yeah, it's
The
different.
hero of trains.
I liked Nintendo's. Like it's not bad. I just I think Nintendo, which it might just be that it's framed around E3, and still everyone kind of thinks as E3 is where you unveil like all your big guns, and I think that's it. I think in the next few years that's just not going to be the case anymore, because it's already like, I mean, obviously the disappointment with this E3 kind of shows that, but I feel like Nintendo has already played their cards for the year, and this like I'd say 95% of their direct was showing things that we've already seen before, and just putting a date at the end.
Right.
I mean, pretty much that was it. Just putting a date at the end.
Yeah, because they had a direct like a couple weeks ago where they talked about a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But like Zelda, it was good. I mean, it's good to get the dates and see that for the most part, besides Animal Crossing, like everything is still on a 2019 track. And like, I think the games that I care about, I definitely saw enough of. I just think, I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe I was just expecting something bigger that I shouldn't have, because they already have like 4 or 5 major releases this fall season. So I can't really expect them to say, oh, we have Super Mario Odyssey 2 for December. What? Like, that's just not going to happen.
Please. Also, I really want to get a Switch just for Animal Crossing. And
oh, hell yes.
This shit made me so happy. I love Animal Crossing.
It does look very good. I like
Go ahead, Logan.
I've actually never played an Animal Crossing game.
What?
You would
I know.
You what?
Yeah, you would. I've only played New Leaf.
You play Stardew Valley, or you've played Stardew Valley how many times? Animal Crossing would be right up your alley. I think you would like it a lot.
It was.
I know that I would like it. I just haven't gotten around to it. You know what I mean?
Gotta get in there for the GameCube.
Yeah.
I played New Leaf a few years back, and I couldn't get into it, but I think that's in part of that game had already been out for a few years.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't really like. It's easier on Switch to like exit out of the game and then go back in. On the 3DS, there's something about it that just feels clunky, and having to start the game up every time just takes time. And so I couldn't just check in every day. It was always a pain to me. Yeah. So this one I think I'll like more.
I was exclusively a Game Boy Animal Crossing boy. It was just really fun to be able to come home from school and then just sit down and just be like, oh, I'm home to walk around and talk to these people, and they're like, hey, what's up, dude? What's going on? You want to go fishing and hit some trees and catch bugs? It's so stupid. I don't know why I like the trees. It's so dumb, but I love it.
Chop down trees.
Now you come home and I say all that stuff to you, right?
Yeah, I come in the door and Tyler's like, hey, let's go hit some trees.
So what was like everyone's, I guess, game of the show? Like, which one? I don't know.
Infinite.
What game like was your favorite or looked the best, or that you're just most excited about right now? What'd you say, Jason?
I said Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
I gotta say the Breath of the Wild sequel for me.
Well, we'll see that in 3 years.
I know, dude.
Cry.
Yeah, they didn't say anything.
I don't know. That's not necessarily true, because obviously it's running on the same engine, and I believe
assets.
I believe Aonuma said that the map is the same as Breath of the Wild, so they already have like a ton of assets. So it's probably like a Majora's Mask situation.
Yeah. Speaking of that, how long did it take between Ocarina and Majora's Mask? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think it was a year.
Really?
Yeah, like really fast.
That was 1 or 2 years.
That was a different time.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
where making games was not as strenuous.
I guess so.
What about Jared? Let's hear Jared's opinion. Give me a game.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not like a Watch Dogs fan. Like, I never really was into them, but that Watch Dogs 3 looks crazy.
It does.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah,
for sure.
Kind of hyped for that. Cyberpunk looks really cool.
Oh
yeah, Keanu.
Dude.
Yeah.
Stole the show.
Keanu Renaissance.
Honestly.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Right? That's crazy.
I'm not complaining. It's just weird.
I don't know what is that. Oh, well, sorry.
Just Keanu being like everywhere right now.
Yeah.
It's his year. It's his year, man.
Yeah, he's in
He's
John
just
Wick. He's in Toy Story.
Yeah.
He's in
he
that
agreed.
He's in Cyberpunk.
Always Be My Maybe.
Cyberpunk.
What?
That Netflix movie about with
Oh, that's right.
Ali
Yeah,
Wong.
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know that.
He
Yeah,
he makes like an appearance in it.
Not even. He's actually in there for like 30,
Oh, is he
40
really?
minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Dang.
but He's actually
That's
in there.
cool.
His character's really funny.
That's cool.
But yeah, just those.
And there's a game coming out. There's like a John Wick game coming out.
Oh man.
I think that was announced at the PC one.
Pog.
PC game.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna ask. Did they say anything about Starfield? At
No.
Bethesda?
They said they weren't going to. Like they specifically said, I think before E3 even happened, we're not going to talk about Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield.
Okay. All right.
I think they said almost verbatim, "We are working on Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6." And that was the only mention of either of those games.
I think next year we'll see it.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think it'll be one of the games to show off the new console.
They better make a new engine so we can sprint and jump at the same time, I swear.
That's a good one.
Oh well. Speaking of Bethesda, Jared, we getting on Fallout later? We gotta use this free
we
week.
got all weekend. Oh fuck,
Yeah.
we gotta download
The
Division 2.
Division, yeah.
Yeah,
When does
Gotta get that
wait,
free.
is the beta start soon?
No, it's out.
Oh,
it's out right
The
now.
Division 2's been
wait,
out.
the
So,
game's
yeah.
out?
No.
The-
What?
The game is out, yeah, but they're doing like the free weekend.
Nice.
Am I lost? Did I get lost somewhere?
Division
The
They're
2.
Division
like-
2?
They're finishing up year 1 right now.
Wait, am I crazy?
Yeah,
Which
that
one
game's
did you
been
play,
out.
Ghost
Jared?
Recon? Are you thinking of Ghost Recon?
Wait, Jared, did we play the
played-
first one?
We played the first one, but that was like at the end of its life cycle.
Oh.
This
was-
when did Division 2 come out? Like a couple months ago?
So,
Yeah, it came out in like February or March.
That shows
Yeah.
how
Maybe April.
little I care.
March 15th,
I
The
hear a
first
bunch of
the first
typing.
Division
Someone
came
will
out
figure it
in like 2015, 2016.
2016, March 8th. Yeah, almost 3 years apart.
Oh, I genuinely, I probably knew. I just don't care about the Division.
Okay, is anyone else excited? Didn't they say that Destiny 2 is going free to play or something?
It's not free to play.
Day?
It's going, isn't it? They
No,
made an
they're-
announcement.
It's not. It's going to Steam for one, and
Okay.
then oh gosh, I kind of forgot the details.
But why?
I know that
I'll
it
look
was
it up.
like if you buy the Steam version, you can it like comes with pretty much all the up to date content or something like that.
Oh.
Maybe don't quote me on that, but
Oh, and they're going. Isn't it going cross?
Fit.
Cross save.
Hey.
it's like
cross
cross
save.
progression.
Yeah, it's cross progression, which is good.
Oh, then never mind.
But
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not exciting.
let me see.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
And that's the only thing that's disappointing.
Actually, like,
Yeah, I think there's like a version of the game that you can buy that will come with like the first few expansions, but yeah, it's not free to play. No.
Well,
So if I got it for free, I could still keep playing it, right?
yeah.
What do you mean?
do you?
Well, like I have the game on the Blizzard launcher.
Yeah, because that was like a
got-
promotion they did a while back where it was like if you
Right.
claim it within this time frame, you get it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay,
No, it's
cool.
yeah, it's
I
not
don't
like
know.
they're not gonna take it off so that you can't play it.
That
Nope.
oh my god, that would be some Blizzard shit though.
Please buy our game again.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Blizzard anymore. It's not
Oh,
Blizz.
well, yeah.
Blizz Division.
Well, yeah, but taking it off, that would be on.
Oh yeah, that's true. I guess that would kind of be.
Mm-hmm.
That would partially be on them.
Because
Yeah.
the BattleNet.
I'm excited for honestly right now. I'm excited for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, but
Nice.
after that, probably Watch Dogs was like the one game that just really impressed me this E3. But it was the one game that really had a good demo too, so it might just be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that
What about
one.
Forza.
Oh, Lego Forza, let's go.
Hey, a lot of people
Lego
like Forza.
Forza. Forza's
Hey man,
I
I'm
thought
not
it was
knocking
interesting
it. I
that
won't fight it.
they've broken their which I mean it makes sense, but they've broken their cycle because it's usually been 1 year. It's Forza Motorsport, which is the like kind of typical racing game.
Yeah.
And then it's Forza Horizon the next year, which is the more arcadey one. And this year they decided to just keep going with Horizon, which is probably because next year they're gonna, well, we hope, because we thought it was gonna happen this year, we hope they show the next console, which they're gonna want to show running Forza, because that's always been their like graphics display.
Launch title.
Ooh, on consoles, that really long, unnecessary talk about Project Scarlet.
Oh god.
Yeah.
And where they were just like, it's got all of these things in it, and it's got
Dude.
200 horsepower, and we're doing this to make it
Unseen frame rates up to 120 frames per second.
No,
that's
it's
On
unheard
console,
of.
it's unheard of.
I know on
console,
console,
it's unheard,
but it's just funny to me that they said that.
just the
but
way
what I
presented.
don't understand is like they have this Project Stream coming out in October, which they barely talked about. They barely talked about it. They're just like, it's coming out in October,
Yeah.
which is like, that's a few months away. Like, Project or Stadia is already given the details of what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that entail? And just, I don't know. I've always liked Xbox and Microsoft, but there's just so many like services, because they have Xbox Live and then they have Xbox Game Pass. But now you can get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which gives you both Game Pass and Live. But then what's the point of streaming games if I have to keep, well, I mean, Stadia has a membership cost too, but there's also free Stadia. I'm like, what is this streaming games model?
I'm really wary about it. I just like, unless you're living in Silicon Valley, I just don't see it being that good of like a possibility. Like there's no way that like even here, like we have decent internet, but I would much rather just get a game on my computer. But I guess it's not for me then in that case, but I don't know.
I do think the portability, because it does like being able to play a game like a full AAA game on your phone, especially given like phones are getting more and more powerful and the screens are getting like, there's large enough screens now to where like it's, or even just like an iPad. I mean, like, because if you can stream a game to an iPad, that's basically a Switch.
Yeah.
Because the Switch is just like a powerful gaming tablet, basically. Yeah. And I guess some of that portability, but I don't know. But then, you know, even Nintendo's like done streaming games before, so I mean, I would think it's almost, I mean, that's the thing, is Nintendo doesn't really always go with the trends of what everyone's doing, but if they could like launch that off, then you know, you could have just a Nintendo Switch that's a streaming Switch, so it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
I suppose
it'll
like
probably take
future.
its time to get its feet off the ground. Future's
full of a bunch of things we don't need, but we're gonna make them.
Yeah.
Do you guys think E3 is ever gonna die out?
No,
I don't think it's gonna ever stop, but there's gonna be a point at which it probably devolves into even something more different. Of a meme or just whatever, where people don't really take it seriously. It's not like a big event anymore. Maybe, or they might. Maybe if that starts happening, they might just completely change it. Yeah, maybe they'll do something different.
I think this year the Sony thing makes it look that way, but honestly, I think Sony will be back at E3 next year.
Yeah,
interesting.
Because they're gonna have their console to show off. That was just the thing, is that like, I think they got it right of just like, why come to E3 and spend the time and the money and all the resources to show games that are not going to be out anytime soon. I mean, I don't know. I don't think any of the games, I don't think there'll be another major like first party PlayStation release. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say, because obviously they need to keep releasing games even until their console comes out, which wouldn't be until holiday next year anyways. So I just think that they knew, like, why spend the time to do a whole stage presentation when we can just show off the games in a direct, like they've been doing with the state of play for a couple times.
Yeah.
And then next year they have a console to show off. They make it a little bit more fanfare, probably have a solid first party release to make a booth out of, and then they'll come back.
Yeah.
E3's definitely devolved over time, though.
I think that brings up a good point that some of the, maybe at some point E3 might evolve into just becoming like entirely online if they feel like people don't want to spend the resources and the time to go to a place. But then you have conferences like who was it, Devolver Digital, where they just had like a video that was like 20 minutes long or whatever, where they did like a skit and just did some fun stuff and showed off their games. And I don't, like, they weren't actually there at any point, right? Maybe they had like a booth or something. But
yeah, I mean,
they didn't.
I think they were on show floor.
They didn't have an actual. They didn't go on stage and do anything.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I know that, like, I'm not so sure about that. I think what they do is they do open an auditorium, because I think Nintendo does this. They open an auditorium for people to go in and sit and watch, but they just play the presentation on screen. I could be wrong.
Right, so but they're still like not actually there.
They're not like actually there,
like
yeah.
doing a live,
but they still have a presence in a way.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Jose, did you have like an idea of something that came to you? Is that why you asked that?
I don't know. It was just like a question, because I know like Nintendo does like their Nintendo Directs and stuff like that. That's like seems to be working pretty well for them. And I don't know. I like Devolver's thing. I think you could do more with like a video or like digital presentation, as opposed to like showing up in person and, you know, in front of a stage. It's almost kind of like awkward also. Just seeing people like talk and then being cut off, and like the awkward like pauses in between like clapping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like with like a video maybe, or like even like streaming it or something like that would just be like better. I don't know. But like I said, I mean, like Sony wasn't there this year, and like Nintendo doesn't like Nintendo Direct. It was just a question, like, I don't know, whatever you guys thought, if like it was ever gonna go away, or if it's just gonna change
Bite the dust
as gaming changes.
Right.
I think it brings too much money to the city to go away, because I'm sure that the city like encourages it, because that obviously brings tourism and revenue into the city.
Absolutely.
But I just think that I don't think the conference model is bad if they would just like be concise about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why Ubisoft's worked well. It was basically like an hour. I'm pretty sure it was just pretty much around an hour long. They just showed the games that they needed to show. They talked a little bit about the ones that they wanted a little more focus on, like the Ghost Recon. They brought out John Bernthal and his dog, which was a good moment. He did a good job presenting.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, contrast that with like Bethesda, where the Fallout 76 guys are like, hell yeah, we put a battle royale in Fallout. It's like, wow, that's so cool, dude.
Everyone told us not to, but we did it anyway.
Yeah,
those
it's
Bethesda
like,
fans are like, they're like
relentless.
Crazy. They're like, yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
It's funny. People on like Reddit and Twitter and stuff are like when they were like, that's right, there's human NPCs now, and someone was like, thank you, and they were like clapping, and then someone was like, well, yeah, thank you for doing what we wanted to have in the first place.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Should they really
I mean,
be
that's why
congratulated for doing something that they should have already done.
I mean, that's why I get that the conferences are good for like fans that are diehard, like they want to see the people and they want to hear and they're excited.
Yeah.
But just, I mean, like the Microsoft conference, I think, was just terrible about fluff of just games that honestly didn't look good. The sizzle reels are kind of like, why do a sizzle reel in the first place? Because you're barely showing off the game anyways.
Right.
And just show the games that you need to, and then get out of there and let people get to the show floor. Because I would think that the better goal would be to get people in the booths to try the games.
I feel like that's what a lot of people
For sure.
go for, though. I mean, yeah, conference people talking stuff.
Yeah.
But like getting to go and play games before anyone else is like a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
That I
so
assume
like
most people wouldn't want to squander.
with PlayStation or Sony and Nintendo and Devolver, like I just think that's the good formula for now of they have the games, go check out these games on the show floor, and even Nintendo is like check out the Treehouse cuz like they showed a lot of gameplay of various amounts of games. Like they finally showed off Ultimate Alliance 3. They did like 2 parts. So for like most of the games that they had tagged as Treehouse games, they do an hour of gameplay. And so if you want that extra content, then you can go watch that. Otherwise, just tell us that you're there on the show floor and let us come like get intrigued by something in a concise conference and then come try it out rather than like try to sell me in a conference alone.
Yeah.
In the vein of my earlier question, especially in the context of E3, is there any games that y'all were like super excited for and then just didn't it just didn't come up to what you thought it was? And mine's Fallout 76, so no one else can steal that.
Wait, are you saying in general?
Yeah, I guess in general.
I thought this
okay.
was directed at E3 because I was gonna say Rainbow Six Quarantine.
Well, I'm saying no. I'm saying like of in the past, because like that's the reason like Fallout 76 was like their big thing at E3 that year, and I was really excited for it, and it just flopped.
Yeah.
I guess let me clarify when I said Rainbow Six Quarantine. That doesn't mean I think it's gonna be bad, but they didn't show anything. It was like a 10, 15, I don't know how long it was, trailer that literally showed nothing except like 2 characters.
Just last year they had a whole week or 2 of a trailer. Talking about Outbreak is what I'm talking about.
Okay. The trauma is too deep set for me to think about that anymore.
I've already suppressed that. Why would you bring it up?
I'm not gonna go back to there.
I never got to play it. It's a bummer.
I'm trying to get rooted again.
Just Cause 3 was one that I was really hyped for because I loved 2, and then it came out and it just like
It was a
didn't
buggy
work.
mess.
Very buggy, and then just over time, even with updates, it just still never got to a very good working point. And I even tried Just Cause 4, and it's basically the same thing. So that was that was like a big disappointment.
I think mine has to be the new Mario Tennis game.
Oh,
I think
oh
Mario
God.
Tennis game. Yeah, I mean,
You
just
expect
because
too
like,
much.
but the thing is that like there was a Mario Tennis game on Game Boy. I forget exactly what it was called. I think it was Power Tour, not Power Tour. I'm not exactly sure.
I'll find
But it was so fun. Like it had this whole like single player story that you could go through.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It was really good, and you didn't play as any of the Mario characters like in
That's
the
just
single
Mario
player
Tennis.
story. Is it like the original?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
because even on 64, I think that came out on 64, or a version of it, and that had story.
Yeah, but that's one of my favorite Game Boy games, and so like I was really excited for this one to like finally get some like updated gameplay, maybe like some cool new mechanics or whatever. And then the single player was trash, dude. Yeah. And I will say that like the redeeming aspect of that game has got to be like the multiplayer. It's super fun, and the swing mode, I actually really enjoy the swing mode where you can just like actually like swing around the Joy-Con to like play tennis with your friends. But overall, like I was very upset with how the single player turned out because I just have so many fond memories of playing the Game Boy game.
Remember in like McDonald's Kid Zone?
Oh,
they would have
remember
the N64. They would have like the N64 little bays. I think some of them had GameCube, but I remember I would play Mario Tennis at like McDonald's every time we went there.
When I was a kid, I used to get my hair cut at Cool Cuts for Kids.
Cool Cuts for Kids. Dude, Spider-Man won the game.
I loved going there because I got to play Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker because I didn't have a GameCube at home, and I would always beg my mom to go there. Those are all like closed down now. Rest in peace, Cool Cuts for Kids.
Yeah.
You'll be remembered.
What a genius idea.
Honestly, let's bring it back.
Let's bring it back. We're gonna cut hair.
Yeah.
I cut my own hair.
And set up like fucking PCs with Siege.
So they can siege while we're cutting hair.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
Bro, when they bang on the desk, it's good. They're gonna move their heads. It's not gonna be a good look.
It's gonna be hair in the keyboards.
The worst fade.
It depends on their KD for the game.
I get a fresh fade every time I play Siege. I'm just telling you right now.
If you get an ace, your haircut's free.
Yeah, honestly.
Wow.
Jared's most disappointing game gotta be Call of Duty Ghosts.
Yo, actually, not even it. I was just disappointed because I mean, for Modern Warfare, whenever they first dropped like the trailers or whatever a couple weeks ago, I mean, I said I was like, they showed like so much for like so early on, and then when they got to E3 and they did like their little mini like 15-minute demos on like different channels and whatever, they just showed the same trailer, talked about the same stuff. There was nothing new, nothing like, oh, we're excited to announce this, or just like, as you can see in the trailer, we brought back Price, but he's different, and it's like they just said that over and over again. And then there was nothing exciting. So that bummed me out. But, I mean, I'm still hyped for the game.
Yeah. Respectable.
Also, the Avengers are ugly.
Don't even start.
America's ass.
Don't even start.
They don't look like the movie. I'm mad.
Don't give me. Hey, I'm pretty sure
That's
that
not Chris Evans.
I'm pretty sure Square said like, well, we're not changing it.
Hey,
They don't.
Which
Yeah.
they're putting alternate costumes in anyway, so it doesn't matter if you don't like the design. Just use a different costume.
True.
There's only so many polygons in the game. You can't make his ass look perfect.
I like the designs. I'm excited.
But do you like the design of his ass?
I don't even
That's
think
the
that you see
conversation
it.
here. That's the
I don't think you see it.
Here.
Oh.
Well,
Are we missing someone? Did someone else have a? I think we're missing two someones, but
we're at
We're running.
yeah, we're also
We're running pretty high on time.
yeah, we're hitting a fat we can end here moment. So unless anyone has anything very important to say.
E3 could have been better. There's still plenty of good games.
Yeah,
I had fun
That's all I
watching
got.
it, but
Yeah, it was nice
just
to
because we
watch.
were just
Sure.
hanging out. So
It's always fun to watch. If it's bad or if it's good, it's at least like somewhat entertaining to
Yeah.
either be disappointed or get hype about something.
or you can just be horribly confused throughout all of Devolver's thing. I was
Yeah.
so
My
like,
God.
what is
That
going
was
on?
great. What are you
It was
talking
really
about?
good, but I was so
It's so good.
confused. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. I guess if you wanna, or listening, if you're not actually watching, if you wanna send us anything, I don't know, fan letters, fan mail, fan money, we have an email address.
Tell
Subscribe
us
to
your
our
favorite game out of
Patreon.
E3.
No, we have an
Let us
email
know.
address. We don't have a Patreon yet.
Subscribe to our fans only.
Oh my god! I don't know what that.
Pay for
What's
a
the
premium
email,
Snapchat?
Tyler? No.
Oh, it's thehooligansmedia@gmail.
Yeah, and that'll be in the description of all of our videos, so you can go watch every single one of them, and in every single one, send us a new email with money or whatever.
Okay, yeah, with money for sure. I don't want to be checking the emails a lot. Not that a lot of people are going to be listening. But
Yeah, I'm sure
Our
everyone's
inbox is
gonna-
full right now as we speak.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have a. How do we close this? What do I say?
Goodbye, everyone.
We love you, Keanu.
go Raptors.
Yeah, go Raptors.
Hey, turn up. Let's go.
Hey.
Let's go, Kawhi.
Hey.
Let's get it. Let's go.
Big smiles all around.
Big
Later,
smiles.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.